You know, in hindsight, I should have realized something. I always had a feeling that Brushell's name was a pun. But you know what I noticed before I started this recording? There's a toothbrush in Brushell's pocket protector and toothpaste. I now get it, and I'm really late to the party on that one. I should have, in hindsight, I should have realized that. But whatever. Let's just continue on with Brushel noticed. Sorry guys for the really weird introduction. It's just like that was something really strange to me. But whatever. When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Misham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now that I think about it, what was he writing? What if he was writing a suicide note? A suicide note, huh? A suicide note. Yes, he had this look on his face. Man's face is inscrutable as a quadratic equation. End quote. What the? Wow, he brought up math. Suicide. Poor Mr. Misham. But that means Vera's innocent. Would someone commit suicide in the middle of an interview? Oh, very well, very well. Begin your cross-examination. Oh god, it's just really weird. I should have realized this. And there's gotta be a pin behind his ear, or that's a freaking, like, one of those automatic toothbrushes. I hope for the pin, though. He seemed to be writing a letter, but quickly slid an envelope. I think we want to press this right here. So, he put the letter away when he saw you. Early reporter gets worm, end quote. That's my secret. I'm not sure I follow. It's the night of the interview. I arrived 15 minutes ahead of schedule. The handle turns, the door opens, and I barge in. Are you sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that unlawful entry? Really? Mr. Misham sure seemed to think so. You should have seen him. He crammed his letter in that yellow envelope as fast as he could. Yellow envelope? I know a secret when I spot one, and that was one. It does seem significant. Well, Mr. Justice, I wonder. It does how it is. It does have the ring of something important. Add testimony. Now, as you just said in the testimony, he testified that it was a yellow envelope. That seems really weird because, hey, why not? My account comes free of charge. Wow. Yeah, but there was an envelope with the scene of the crime, but it wasn't yellow. It was red. Are you colorblind? As it just so happens, there was a single letter left in a desk drawer at the scene. In a red envelope. What? Whoa! Talk about strangling yourself. Prosecutor Gavin.
Yes?
Was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime?
Unfortunately, no. But her forehead. It's easy to mistake the color of an envelope.
I guess, but not this envelope. You see, it was postmarked already 7 years ago. Well, Mr. Brushel, I can explain that. Drew, right? He wanted to get the letter in the envelope pronto. Get it out of sight. Get out of sight of my beady eyes, right? So he grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed it away. What about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction, chump? Well, Mr. Justice, have you anything to say to the witness's claim? That night, the victim put a letter he had been writing in a red envelope. I'd say it's possible. I don't know if it's impossible. We're gonna go for impossible, just to see what happens. That's impossible.
Ah, I like her expression. So full of confidence.
It's simple, really. As it just so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of the envelope with the assistance of a forensic scientist.
What?
Note that this letter is addressed to Drew Misham. Oh! Why would he address a letter to himself? Let alone let's send a suicide note to himself. I've been scooped! And he strangles himself with his tie. Order, order, order! Mr. Brushel, can you explain this to the court? Oh my, how could I have forgotten? I suppose this happens to be the best of us. Reporter gets old, forgets lots. End quotes. I'm still waiting for explanation, Mr. Brushel. Well, that's the thing. See, after he put the letter in the envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. His desk drawer. Yes, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp. End quote. A stamp? Whatever for? Well, to mail his letter. What else? And then, why, yes, I think I saw him put it in his letterbox. Yes, it was a yellow envelope, and he put that in the box. Well, apparently this yellow letter has nothing to do with this case. Oh, I wish it did. Just think if that were a suicide note. What a story. Star writes suicide note in front of reporter, falls. End quote. At him, as I was saying, it has nothing to do with this case. That said, yes, Your Honor? It makes me wonder about the contents of that red envelope. Silence. Even more silence. 100,000 is quite a good deal of money.
So this was from 7 years ago, yeah?
So am I finished here? I mean, am I finished here? I was thinking of, going home to start writing. The judge's shocked face. Jesus Christ, man. I hate to state what should be pretty obvious to anyone. But when you catch the sin of a story, you make that a rather unique face. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That should be a thumbnail. Or some fan art. Jesus Christ, man. Oh god, I almost deleted that. Come on! Attorney has active imagination. Little else. End quote. Oh, come on. He insulted me. Even I know something, and my eyes aren't what they used to be. I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is about. Judge has active imagination. End quote. Please continue your testimony. Tell us about the scent of a story. Hey, I'm the one asking the questions here. Usually. He even has a quill in his pocket. That's really weird. That is toothpaste in a comb, isn't it? Actually, it took a bit of work to get thumbs up on an interview. Reporter leverages story, gets his interview. End quote. Did I just spit on my computer desk, my keyboard? The story connected a certain case from 7 years ago. The red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare. As I stutter consistently. So you threatened to go to the press with this story. That's how you got your interview. Blackmail. Well, yes. I mean, no. It wasn't exactly black. I mean, oh, come on. Why it's gotta be black, huh? What's up with the black here? Jesus Christ. Something wrong, Mr. Brushel? Look. This is my story. My tidbit. Journalist info is livelihood. End quote. I see. While you may be chatting away, have me chatting away here, what's going on out there? What's some Wally Wordsworth or Sally Scooper gets wind of my story? They could be going to the press while I'm going to waste. The court feels your pain, Mr. Brushel. Mr. Justice, let's pick up the pace. A certain case 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago? This case is not that simple after all. Actually, it took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on their interview. Yeah. This is something he just said. Yeah, this is really weird. He's gonna talk about various things here that he wants to get out. A statement left a bad taste in my mouth. It all makes sense. Nothing jumps out as ridiculous. I wonder what this story he's talking about is. It must have been good to get an interview with a famous recluse like that. Something powerful enough to drag Drill Misham out of hiding. I wonder. Maybe it has something to do with Mr. Misham's art. Now, as you can see, our little bracelet's glowing. So we want to do, we just want to get to his last piece of testimony. I think it's here we want to proceed. Now we want to view his armpit. As weird as this is. Is that something I'm trying to get to? Oh. I don't hear that again. There it goes. Perceive that. And that's some really bad perspiration. That's some really bad perspiration, dude. Sweat much, Mr. Brushel? Yeah, well, a man can't help his glands, you know. Oh, God. It's more than that. When Mr. Misham's talent was mentioned, you suddenly began to sweat buckets. Ah! You're hiding something, aren't you? You're hiding something about his talent. What? That's ridiculous. Evidence time. Let's show where Mr. Ham's talent truly lay. If I remember correctly, he's supposed to be a forger. What you need to do is, it's a painting we need to present, and I think, yeah, here it is, the hidden painting right here. This painting was found in Mr. Misham's studio. There are two problems with this painting. The first is it wasn't painted by Mr. Misham. The second is that there was another painting in the studio, which looked exactly like this one, except it was only half done. He's brushing his glasses. Then we have a letter discussing a payment of 100,000, which suggests a certain business operation, the business of making forgeries. Oh! As he strangles himself with his tie. That is all, Your Honor. Everyone, please, everyone. Can we keep this private, please? This is my story, my scoop. Forgery, that's a serious crime. Drew Misham is known as an artist these days, but there were rumors that he dabbed in another kind of art until a few years back. Dang it. Another art, meaning forgery? Drew Misham was talented, right? Talented at making precise, detailed fakes. A fact that certain criminal elements were quick to discover. Criminal elements? What? You can't seriously be talking about... Exactly. I'm talking about forging evidence. The rumors started circulating 7 years ago. 7 years ago? So are we to understand that this letter, this payment of 100,000 was for... Exactly. Forged evidence nets tidy profit. End quote. Reporter strangles himself dead. End quote. Why? It's like our victim was living a double life. Aha! This is my chance. So the victim had ties to the criminal world, right? He could have had plenty of enemies we know nothing about.
This is my first time hearing of this criminal world.
You know,
we certainly found no criminal connections when we conducted our investigation.
But how do you explain all this money? You have to admit there's a possibility of illegal activity here.
But there is no proof tying this letter to our case. Our case was and remains simple from the beginning. Only the defendant could have poisoned that mug that night. And you, of course.
Hey, the only thing I poison is my pen when I'm writing reviews. Mr. Brushel, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable. It doesn't speak well for your reporting acumen. What are you talking about? My journalism is rock solid. Journalism is so solid you can stand on an elephant. End quote. You could stand an elephant on. You could stand an elephant on it. End quote. Really? In any case, let's hear you summarize or recap your testimony. If we can ascertain the situation in our studio from the recap, the trial is over. Apollo, what's he talking about? The cross-examination showed Mr. Brushel didn't have any reason or means to poison him. As long as there's no other suspects, then the killer had to be Vera. That's what. This testimony is our last chance. Mr. Brushel, your testimony, please. And we'll do this recap on the next part of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys later.